Alright, you guys, what is up? Sean D here from Sean D Gaming, bringing you a video a little bit different today, a little bit interesting. It's going to be an AWP tier list updated 2024. So this is CS2, all the skins up as far as July. This is going to be my personal opinion on the skins that I like. So basically, what we have here is a S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and D tier. Obviously, D being the lowest I like, and S being like my favorite. And personally, probably the best looking skins I will put in S tier and probably A tier as well, with a close B. And then obviously C, I don't really like them. D, I hate them. But yeah, in between each time I put one in, like say if I put the Safari Mesh, obviously I don't like it, it's going to go in D tier. I'm going to have a little inspection video in between each kind of one of like showing you the skin in an inspection mode in the game. Basically, we'll get going here, and yeah, I'm just going to start out with the Safari Mesh. It's basically, as you can see here, I'm going to put that in the D category because I actually don't like the Safari Mesh. It just looks very plain, looks very just basic. You know, it's not my cup of tea. But look, some people like it, some people don't. Personally, I don't like the skin. The next up, we have the Sun in Leo. Personally, I started out with this a little while ago. I'm gonna put that in C tier because it wouldn't be my favorite. It's not the nicest. It's got a nice pattern to it, as you can see there. But other than that, the Sun in Leo would be in C tier for me personally. Up next, we have the Capillary. The Capillary is not bad. I'll probably put it in C tier as well. It's not the best looking skin. It's got a nice little pattern there on the side. I like the way that the bolt action is red, the scope is red, and the mag is red as well. But other than that, I don't really have any interest in it. Not really much going for it, in my opinion. Up next, we have the Artreon. I'll probably put that in B tier just because of the cool skin with the skull and bones on the side there. I think it's just different. I kind of like the whole skull and bones kind of thing. It's nice color between red and black. That's why I probably put that in a B tier for me. It's nice. I probably would go with B tier personally. Not probably many people would have an opinion on that. Probably most people would probably put it in a C tier, but yeah, go with the B tier for me. Now, next we have the Black Nile. I'm personally going to put that in B tier as well, simply because of the indentation in the design, like the way that it cuts into the actual gun, like it's been milled out. Personally, I like that skin kind of design. It looks pretty cool. But up next we have the snake camo. Definitely going in D tier. It just looks brutal. It just looks like it shouldn't exist in the game. Just yeah, personally, not my cup of tea. But yeah. Up next we have the Pit Viper. Personally, it's going in D tier as well. I know I'm probably being very harsh on some of these skins. It looks like a green version of the snake camo. It's just not good. Up next we have the Phobos. Personally, I'm gonna put it in C tier. Maybe B tier, high B tier, high C tier. Looks cool with the kind of robotic kind of design on it. I would call that more futuristic kind of design. Other than that, it's nice. It's not that bad. It's not too great either. That's why I'm probably going to put it in the C tier. Up next, we have the Worm God. I don't mind the Worm God. I actually don't mind it at all. So I'm probably going to put that in B tier, for the simple fact being it's one of the first skins I've actually ever had with an op. I actually really liked it. I liked the way it had the skull, the bones, and the design going through with the gold. I actually personally kind of like that skin. I'd probably put in A tier because it's one of my first skins I've ever had, but since it's kind of like valueless, I suppose it's not really valueless, but it's a nice skin. I'm gonna leave it in B tier. Up next we have the paw. Yeah, the paw. Where will I put that? Paw. Personally, I'm going to put it in. I'll probably put it in B tier as well. It's just different. Maybe low B tier, maybe C. You know what? I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's just not doing it for me. It's nice. It's cool. There are probably other designs that could have come out that would have been better than that. Sorry if I actually pronounce some of these skins wrong. It's been a while since I've been on CS:GO, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it in C tier. It's just it's not me, the whole cartoon design and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. Up next is the Atris. I actually kind of like this skin, so I'm gonna put it in A tier. It's probably very overused and stuff like that in the Prism case, but I think it comes in the Prism case. Yeah, I just like the whole skin kind of design, dragon design, the way that it wraps around the scope as well, with the green on each side of the scope, and even on the bolt action it has the little bit of green snake skin. I actually like that skin, so that's going into the A tier for me. Up next we have the Exoskeleton. Personally, I actually kind of like the Exoskeleton as well. I'll probably put it B tier. Just the whole design of it, obviously being on the scope, the indentation in the middle of the skin there as well is very nice. Overall, I kind of like the Exoskeleton. It's not the best skin you can get in CS:GO, but I'm gonna leave it B to low C tier, and yeah, that's where I put that. Up next, we have the Pop Up. For me, I'm gonna leave it in C tier. I just do not like it. It's just too much color. It's too much just random patterns thrown onto the skin. There's nothing on the scope. There's nothing on the barrel. Very basic in my opinion. So I'm gonna leave that in C tier. The pink DDPA. I'm gonna put that into D tier. I just hate the skin. I don't like it at all. Never liked it, even in the start of CS:GO and stuff like that. I never liked the skin. It's kind of similar to the whole Pit Viper thing with like just pink and black. It's not me. Up next we have the Mortis. I think, yeah, the Mortis. We have. I'm gonna leave it in B tier. It's nice. I like the way it has like a little bit of color on the scope. I like the way it has the nun there. It's kind of cool on the back of it. Not that bad. Um, Personally, I like the whole kind of the way that has the dragon there, kind of in the middle with the XII. Obviously, that's Roman numerals. I kind of like that skin. I'd probably put it in maybe A tier as well. But for the minute, I'm going to leave it in B tier. I might actually move it up to A tier in rest or further on, maybe seeing how we get on. But yeah, I'm going to leave it in B tier to high A tier. Up next, we have the Duality. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Personally, I like this skin. Going in A tier, it just looks cool. The way it has the snake on the back with the tongue out, all the pink on the back of the stock. It has the nice pattern on the back of the stock, and it has a bit of a pattern on the scope. Personally, I like it. I think it looks cool. I'm definitely leaving that in A tier to probably S tier for me. But I'm going to leave it in high A tier for me personally. Now, I like the skin. Not really worth that much money. Doesn't really matter. It's just a nice looking skin. Probably some of you will also uh, agree with me on that so far on the list. Up next, we have the Fever Dream. Fever Dream. I liked it when it first came out, but then again, it was just too much on the skin. It just looks like something was. I know it's meant to be like scribbled all over it and it's meant to be like that, but I'm gonna put it in C to high B. I'm gonna put it in low B to C, but I'm gonna put it in C because it's just not for me. I'm probably being very harsh on this. Probably being very harsh on this list, as we don't have any S tiers at the moment. But I would probably put the Duality up in the S tier. But the Fever Dream, not for me. Just the writing and stuff like that. It just looks very like it shouldn't exist in the game, to be honest as well. Not for me. Up next, we have the Elite build. I know it's in like a very basic skin. I'm gonna put it probably in C tier as well. Uh, just because it looks way better than any of these D tiers. Doesn't deserve to be in the D tiers. It's very basic, very clean, I suppose. It just looks clean. It's just a little bit better than standard looking skins, or just like something that's been like drawn by a 5-year-old. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it in C tier. Up next, we have the Cortesia. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I'm probably going to put that in C tier as well. Maybe B tier because I kind of like the skin. It's plain, it's simple. I like the kind of. Nah, do you know what? I'm putting that in C tier. Looking at it more now, I don't really like it. This is all live opinions, by the way, that I'm looking at the skins now, and then also, like, I'm changing mind in between the videos and stuff like that. Yeah. Up next, we have the Electric Hive. I actually kind of like the Electric Hive. just because the pattern. I just like the way that it's throughout the whole skin. Like it's just unusual. I don't know why the way that the color is different from top to bottom. I kind of going to leave that in B tier to low B tier to C tier. Yeah, just it's not bad. It's not the worst. It's not the best. I'm going to leave it in B tier. Up next, we have the red line. The red line is going to go into a B tier for me. I've always kind of liked the red lines, the red line AK and red line up. I've always liked it. I'm going to leave it in the low B tier, but I'm going to leave it in the B tier. Up next, we have the boom. I like the boom. I really like the boom. So personally, I'm going to put that in A tier. I've always owned a boom in my time. I know I've got no skins at the moment. But yeah, personally, I'm going to leave it in the A tier to S tier for me. I've always liked the boom. I just thought it was unusual. I know it's very cartoony, but I just like the color of the orange and brightness. I like the more bright skins personally. Just me. But yeah, I'm going to leave the boom in A tier personally for me. Up next, we have the Silk Tiger. The Silk Tiger, it's nice, but it just I don't know. I don't know how to say it without insulting the creator. Um, it looks like it was drawn by like a child, but then again, it's a nice looking skin, like with the tiger on it and stuff like that. But I don't understand why the tiger is upside down at the back of the stock. It could have been facing the other tiger, kind of like it was going to fight it. But I do like the skin. I do like the skin. But it could have just been made that little bit better. So I'm actually going to leave it in B tier, high B tier at that. So yeah, could have been better, but we'll leave it in high B tier. Up next, we have the graphite. The graphite, it's 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 C tier for me. It's basically the same as the black tile, black Nile, but the black Nile actually has indentations in it, and the exoskeleton has indentations in it. This looks like it was just like painted onto it, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to leave that in C tier because it's basically the exact same as the Black Nile, but the Black Nile is just that small bit nicer. Uh, Up next, we have the Chromatic Aberration. Don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm going to leave that in a B tier just because of the colors, the way that it kind of like looks like you're tripping out. When you look at the stock and the back of the colors, I like the way that it has colors on the stock, and then it's kind of like a different pattern on the other side of the skin. I like the way they did the two patterns on each side. I like it personally. I would use it. I like the way the barrel is done as well, so I'm going to leave that in probably high B tier. Yeah, that's my opinion on that. Up next, we have the Hyperbeast. I've always liked the Hyperbeast. It's a very overused skin, but I've always liked the Hyperbeast. That's going in A tier to S tier for me. Probably S tier just because it's an OG. I like the skin. I've always liked the skin. Probably going to be the first S tier that I'd put up there. It's very overused skin. People are probably going to contradict what I say and probably put it maybe in A to B tier. Personally, I love the skin. Always like the skin, the way that it does it on the barrel, the everything. I just always like the skin. I've always owned one back in the day in CS:GO. It's always been an OG for me, so I'm going to leave it in S tier. Up next, we have the Neo Noir. I love the skin as well. I actually always like that skin. I'm going S tier with the Neo Noir. Personally, I actually owned one of these as well. I just like the way the girls on the back of it. I like the way the white is on the barrel and all that. I just like the way scope is done. It's just overall a nice skin. Probably actually going to drop it to A tier maybe. Personally because it's not my favorite. I'd rather the Hyper Beast over the Neo Noir. But yeah, I'm going to leave it in A tier. Up next, we have the Wildfire. I love the Wildfire. It's going in S tier. I don't own one myself, but I would love one. Uh, I just love the way it's the Flaming Dragon. I love the way it's red, bright red to black on the front of it. The scope is done, the barrel is done, everything is got color on it. It's just a very nice skin, and it should be valued at more money than it actually is. But yeah, S tier, 100% S tier for the Wildfire. Up next, we have the Man of War. It's a nice skin, but it's also got not much color to it, not much detail. I like the blue, I like the gold. It's just there's nothing on the scope, there's nothing on the barrel really. It's kind of more of a B tier for me. I would place it in. But yeah, I'm getting notifications and stuff. Oops. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna put the Man of War in B tier personally. It's just not enough for me personally. Up next we have the Continent Breach. Sorry, I probably butchered that. Uh, I I do and I don't like it. I do and I don't like it. I'm probably gonna put it in C tier. It's just it's nice. I'm probably gonna put it in. You know what? I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's not that bad. The monsters on it and stuff. The green is nice, unusual bright green. It's probably the only bright green in the skins that I've got in this list. I kind of like green, and I like the way that's got color all over it. So I'm gonna put that in the low B to C area. Up next we have the Asimov, OG Asimov. Love the skin, A tier, 100%. Doesn't deserve the S tier, personally, in my opinion, because there is nicer skins than it. But I just like the way that the pattern is. It's an OG skin, like the orange on blue, not blue. That doesn't even have blue in it. The orange on black on white. I just like it personally. It's always been a good skin for me. I've always liked using it. I'd probably put it high A tier to S tier, but I'm gonna leave it in A at the moment. Up next we have the Onitaji. I don't know if I pronounced that right at all. I like to call it the Onion Baji. I like onion badges. That sounds like onion badgie. But anyway, the Oni Taji. I actually like the skin. I actually like the pattern in it with the kind of devil on the back of it, with the samurai look on the front of it. I'm probably going to put it in high, A tier personally, if not S tier. It's just unusual. I like the purple scope, the purple barrel. I like everything about it. The kind of flames with the devil on the back. Do you know what? I'm going to put it in S tier. I think it deserves S tier for me. So yeah, up next we have the Lightning Strike. It's always been a good, nice skin. The Lightning Bolt. It's very plain though. I like the purple slash pink kind of color off it, but I don't think it does enough for me. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. It's still a nice skin. I still like using it. But yeah, I just don't think it has enough. It has no scope. It could have had lightning strikes on the scope and barrel. But yeah, I'm going to leave it in A tier to low, to high B to A tier. Up next we have the Fade. I actually like the Fade. I'm gonna put it in A tier just because the pattern and stuff like that. I always like the Fade skins, the Fade knives and stuff like that. It's just overall a nice looking skin. Personally, I like using it. But yeah, that's about that. Up next we have the Desert Hydra. I really like the Desert Hydra. Probably like one of my favorite skins by the looks of it. Just the kind of cream colored orange with the snakes all over it with the blue tongues. I just really like that skin. I'm putting that in S tier, 110%. It's going in S tier, and there's no change in that. Definitely, it's probably one of my top three skins, I'd say, personally. But yeah, that's the Desert Hydra. Definitely hitting S tier. It's not even leaving S tier. I'll leave it at that. Up next, we have the Medusa. Yeah, Medusa, it's always been a lovely skin. It's S tier. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter on the value of it. Doesn't matter about that. Could have had a little bit more on the scope and the barrel, but whoever doesn't like Medusa is wrong. Just the girl on it with the snakes in the hair. It's just such a nice skin. Up next, we have the Prince. High S tier. The Prince is just such a nice skin with the red, the gold, the etching with the leaves. It's just such a good skin. It's definitely my top three as well. I just love this skin. 100% S tier. No change in my mind about it. It's staying there. Up next we have the Gungnir. Gungnir. I don't know if I said it right. This is probably my favorite skin. Definitely my favorite skin. Top skin. It's the blue, the pattern, the scope, everything about it, the cream. I like it. It's just the colors work perfectly together. I don't think you're going to get a better S tier. Like I know I'm bringing out probably more S tiers than A tiers, but I'm going to drop the Hyperbeast to an A tier because it's such an overused skin. This is my S tier so far. But the Hyperbeast is definitely high A tier now. But the Gungnir, 100% my favorite skin. Up next, we have the OG, the number one skin on CSGO. It is the Dragon Lore. It has to go. Personally, it just has to go in S tier. It's the best like personal skin you can get. It's what everyone dreams of having some point in their life is a Dragon Lore. It's just nice. It has a dragon on it. It's golden. It's yellow. It's got red in it. It's got the flame coming out of the dragon's mouth. What else do you want? It's probably the most valuable op skin there is. It's just a nice skin. Yeah, that's it, guys. It's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Hope you agreed with my tier list. Some of it can be changed around, stuff like that. But yeah, personally, this is my tier list, and this is the way it is. Don't ignore this. This is just another pod I added in by accident. But anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks you guys for watching. This is Sean D from Sean D Gaming. Hope you leave a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace out.